Moses parting the Red Sea, Jonah being swallowed by a whale and surviving. Are those stories events that actually happened, or are they symbolic stories meant to teach a lesson? Today we're going to decide the answer to that question. Well, maybe not, but we're going to talk about it. I'm going to wade into the debate. And my name is Dale, and you're watching Quickened by the Spirit, Spoken into Motion. Those stories have been debated for as long as they were told, whether or not they're literal, which means they actually did happen, or whether or not they're symbolic, which means they're teaching a lesson and they didn't really happen. I believe both possibilities are true. And I know that sounds like a cop-out, but it's not, because I believe that if God wanted to, God could have had those miracles occur. If God can create everything, then God can do that too. But at the same time, I know that Jesus taught almost all of his lessons using parables. And Christians believe that Jesus is God. He's part of the Holy Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And what I think happened with Jesus was that God decided, they're just not getting what I'm trying to tell them here. They need to hear these things from a real person, somebody that they can see and touch and hear and observe. So God became man, and that man was Jesus. And Jesus taught everything in parables. So, I believe God could have done it if he wanted to, but I also believe that Jesus, who is God, did a lot of his teaching in parables. I'll give you an example of something that is debated, and that is Balaam and the donkey. Balaam was a pagan prophet hired by the king of Moab to curse the Israelites. And Balaam was on his way to meet the king of Moab, and he was riding a donkey, and God sent an angel with a sword to stand in the path of the donkey. And when the donkey got to where the angel with the sword was, the donkey moved to the side to get around, or to get away from that apparition. And when he did, Balaam beat him. And that happened 3 times. And God finally said, listen, I'm not going to let Balaam keep beating that donkey. So he gave the donkey the ability to speak. And the donkey basically said, why are you doing that? I'm just trying to avoid the guy with the sword, or something to that effect. Because Balaam had not seen the angel yet. Now, if you were to tell me that you heard a talking donkey, I would not believe it. There was a TV show, Mr. Ed, where a horse spoke, but that was a fantasy. It was a TV show. Those things are hard to believe. I understand that. But at the same time, I understand wanting to believe that God did those things to show his awesome power. If I had that ability, I might kind of show off my awesome power too. So I believe it's possible they're true. It's possible they're symbolic. What I don't understand and believe is wrong is people who say that if you don't believe they're actually true, that your faith isn't real. Because I think that chases people away from God. And what we should be trying to do is bring people to God. And that's my 2 cents worth. I believe both possibilities are true. My name is Dale, and you've been watching Quickened by the Spirit, Spoken into Motion. And I appreciate that very much.